Yo, it's your girls. Stop foster youth trafficking now.
Sarah?
Ashley.
Cynthia.
Raylan. Foster youth are our passion. We want to see some action taken by our Twitter followers. We want freedom for our youth, so listen to the truth that we hope set our foster youth free. There are people with intentions to hurt those with oppressions and little being done to address it. What we need is prevention, so join us on our mission as we fight for abolition for foster youth sex trafficking.
Hi everyone, it's Ashley. I'm going to be introducing what our social media campaign was about. So ours was about foster youth and human trafficking. And hopefully you got that through the cool intro/rap that one of our awesome group members, Sarah, did. And just to give you some information about foster youth are more at risk for being victims of human trafficking. Of the children who have been victims of sex trafficking, 60% have been in the child welfare system. Because this population is so vulnerable, foster youth are more likely to be targeted. Because of this, our group thought prevention and other actions should be taken in order to support and help our foster youth. So, the bill H.R. 4980, Preventing Sex Trafficking and Strengthening Families Act, is a bill that requires states to have plans and policies that help foster youth and prevent foster youth from being trafficked. The various ways this bill assists and supports foster youth is through identifying children affected by human trafficking, documenting when foster youth might be affected by trafficking, and having services to help children who are experiencing human trafficking. Additionally, this bill requires states to allow foster youth to have activities to add positive experiences into their lives and provides more services and resources to foster youth. Overall, this original bill helps foster youth who are trafficked and allows for agency to be more aware of this issue. But our group thought, what more is needed to help and support our foster youth? The bill that we are now proposing, adding to the existing bill, will add a section that allows for psychoeducation regarding human trafficking. Foster parents will have to take classes regarding this topic and also classes regarding trauma. Education will allow foster parents to identify warning signs and allow foster parents to understand how trauma and foster child's experiences affect them. Additionally, foster children will have their own type of classes which will allow them to gain information and insight on the issues.
I'm Raylan, and I'm going to be speaking about the target audience we are trying to reach using our Twitter. Some of the people we are trying to reach and educate are foster parents, foster family agencies, senators, governors, and council people. We want to educate them of the signs and precursors when a foster youth is in potential danger to be trafficked, as well as the patterns of abuse and the continual danger foster youth are facing when we aren't taking action to prevent the problem from occurring. As we are bringing awareness to government office, it is also important to bring awareness to policymakers who have the ability to create change from within and create new policies that require education and training for those who are in direct contact with foster youth. Some of the people we chose to follow on our Twitter to help achieve our goal of education and awareness are senators from various districts and states, activist groups to help spread our message, and foster youth advocacy groups.
Hey guys, my name is Cynthia and I'm in charge of educating our audience. So we did this by creating a Twitter account to spread awareness and information on foster youth and human trafficking. The purpose of this was to educate the general public and encourage to include mandatory education training for foster youth, foster parents, youth group staff, and child welfare workers. Ashley reported certain statistics on human trafficking and foster youth, which includes 60% of human trafficking victims are foster youth. 12 is the average age of a sex slave, and also the different factors that increase risk of foster youth for trafficking. Raylan posted the 5 reasons why for foster youth being targeted for human trafficking and encouraged the public to take action as a community member and as a foster parent. Sarah encouraged followers to advocate and spread awareness by sharing a link to sign the petition to Facebook for them to update their default settings to protect the youth. And I shared a flyer with various ways to protect and how to spot a potential victim of human trafficking.
Hi everybody, this is Sarah. Nelson Mandela once said that it is wise to persuade people to do things and make them think it was their own idea. That was kind of our hope with our Twitter campaign, that through education and opportunities to take action, that our followers would think it was their idea and we would persuade them to go make a change. So through the use of our Twitter post, each of us posted weekly posts to engage, inform, and persuade our targeted audience that Raylan talked about the risk of sex trafficking in foster youth. In total, we had 23 posts. They focused on bringing awareness of the problem that foster youth are facing and that the bills and programs that are in place to combat the problem. The goal of our account was to start with awareness of the problem and then move toward education on preventative actions that HR 4980 is already taking. Most of the information that we presented in our Twitter posts included statistics, risk factors, global action being taken, and our suggestions for further action and research, which includes preventative programs and increased education for foster youth, foster parents, and child welfare workers. Some of the approaches we took while developing our posts to appeal to our audience was having a variety of information provided. So we used several methods like photos, using websites, quotes, and sometimes just strictly stating facts. As Cynthia mentioned earlier, we started with educating our followers with different information about sex trafficking and foster youth. The second half of our posts were more focused on preventative measures. So a few of those posts included Cynthia's post that provided a very practical flyer helping break down the warning signs and steps for foster youth to protect themselves from being trafficked. Ashley's engagement with followers and their inquiries about what action steps need to be done. Raylan's website attachment of programs in place to help advocate and educate the public about resources for sex trafficking. And my post that encouraged followers to sign a petition and add protection to recruitment sites such as Facebook to make recruitment more difficult for exploiters.
Hey, this is Ashley again, and I'm going to talk about the bill status and our outcomes that we had. So the original bill was passed into Congress in 2014. However, the hope our group had in amending the bill to include the psychoeducation piece for foster parents, foster youth, and child welfare workers was not accomplished, sadly. Through our efforts made by each of our members to educate and encourage to take action and spread more awareness on this topic of human trafficking within foster youth was made. Each member's goal was to spread awareness on the issue of human trafficking by using Twitter to reach our audience. Each tweet made by our group had a variety of attention/feedback according to our audiences. The range of impressions that we had on each tweet ranged between 150 and 2,242. The range of engagements for our tweets were between 1 and 74. Not every tweet received the attention as desired, but the tweet with the most responses had 15 retweets and 16 likes. Additionally, since the beginning of April, our campaign was able to gain 54 followers by following other users and from retweeting from others. Although the response received during our campaign was not as active as we had wished, the efforts made by each group member appeared to be well received. One thing as a group we hoped for was the interaction with our followers, including conversations that focus on what agencies are currently implementing for at-risk youth, or even gauging the amount of awareness different child welfare agencies have regarding this issue. For each group member, this experience was the first time when it came to executing a social media campaign. Through the process, we discovered what a challenge it is to build an audience with such a short amount of time to make an impact. For most of us, our awareness of using Twitter was minimal, so learning the new platform took extra time and effort. Additionally, we found a hindrance in our efforts due to minimal connections we had with individuals that would join forces with their cause. This could have been changed if we had additional time. Although our efforts were not successful as we had hoped, it was a great learning experience in regards to effectively making a campaign and fighting for social justice by engaging with individuals through the use of social media. In conclusion, we discovered that prevention and education are needed to assist and support our foster youth, since they are one of the most vulnerable populations for human trafficking. The bill is a step forward in the right direction by identifying children and documenting foster youth that are at risk for human trafficking, as well as providing services to victims of human trafficking. However, psychoeducation is still something that is needed for human trafficking, and it should be added for the bill. Both foster youth and foster parents should be required to attend classes concerning human trafficking and trauma, which includes targeted victims, warning signs, and how to seek guidance. Overall, this was a positive experience for each group member as we got to see how a campaign through social media is conducted, and this helped us see how macro social work can be used.